Welcome, welcome. I believe that I am live. So my name is Ben McDowell. I'm the owner of this Facebook group. We have been running our coaching company. Well, it's actually not a coaching company anymore. It's actually an implementation company. We help people to coaches, consultants, agency owners, and course creators to actually automate their lead generation, fix their pricing, make it $5,000 to $10,000 per client they take on board. We help them fix their delivery. We also then automate their lead generation, help them delegate their setting, and make sure that they're getting 50 to 70% closing ratio in their sales calls. So really in this video and in this mini training, I want to really show you the implementation framework we take our clients through. And really the focus of this is to really take people that have created paid clients in their coaching business, their consulting business or such, and really understand like what are those elements that are missing. So what are the specific things, if it's in their audience, if it's in their offer, if it's in their lead generation, their setting or their sales, which are really preventing them from breaking that 5 to 10, that 25K per month mark, and really exiting the launch phase, which is anything from 25K per month and below. Anything that isn't consistent, if your business is not hitting high income months consistently, you are in the launch phase, to break through that over the chasm into the growth phase. Okay, so we're not talking about scaling yet, talking mainly about growth. Okay, so there's different things that are needed at each stage of a business's life cycle. And today I'm really going to show you what we do and the journey that we take people through on a nice lucid chart. And I'm really going to be unpacking this for you guys. So I've been sitting down with a lot of people, a lot of coaches, a lot of consultants in the last 30 days. And really what I found out is that the main issue that it begins with is really, well, let's just put down here, 30-day mastermind build and release, okay? Really what it comes down to is it starts off with the audience, okay? And what we're looking for in the audience is, okay, is there a compelling need? And then does the audience have buying power? Okay, this is simply the two major points that we need to look at first. Then we look at the offer, and what we're going to get clear on is the value proposition and the marketing message. Okay, so let me just break this down for you guys. So the audience, really what happens is that a lot of coaches and consultants are out there and they're trying to create clients, but they're targeting a really broad audience, or it's an audience that they haven't located their specialist space, like in terms of how they serve clients. They don't have a very specific need that is really painful that they could serve, right? Or if they've got that need and it's a really painful need, the people that they're targeting don't have buying power. So they don't have the ability to actually pay for high ticket pricing. So they get a lot of, I don't have the money objections, don't have the time, a lot of smoke screens, a lot of cancellations. So without both of these, the audience, no matter what happens later on in the sales funnel, nothing else can convert. So what we do is I sit down with people that join our program, and we sit down on a 90-minute, what's called a game plan session. And we get clear on what that audience is. And we really just spend the time to flesh that out, okay? So I have a conversation with you and the people that start, and that's what we get clear on. In that same session, once we've got the audience, then we build an offer around the needs of that audience. So a lot of the time, these offers are a bit just broad because the niche is broad, the audience is broad. So we want to make sure that you have a value proposition that is really specific. It's like, what are you proposing that people get by working with you? And really what we want to understand is, how do we package that in a marketing message? How do we convey that in content? Because a lot of the time, a lot of people doing in the online service space, they're creating lots of content, but it's not actually educating people on their value proposition of their offer. It's not helping the person understand, the people watching your content, really, do they understand what need you're speaking to? What is it specifically that you do? And how do they know you're speaking to them? And what do you actually have for them? So it's really like there's a balance between educating them on, what on their problem, on the solution you have, and then why is it important to actually speak to you. So that's really important that we have that understanding of the marketing message. Only when we have this dialed in, audience and offer, can we actually think about anything else in terms of lead generation. Okay, so just before lead generation, what we really want to focus on is we want to focus on a 3-phase build. So we've got the first phase is optimizing your profile. So profile optimization. And I'm just going to give you all the elements so you could literally take this away and use it yourself. We're going to look at Facebook group optimization. And what we're going to look at is basic automations. Okay. So I'm going to walk you guys through this now, and you can really, this is the A to Z of how to scale to actually 50K per month. And you can do this easily without paid ads, without free challenges or masterclasses, without anything. And really, it's quite simple. So really what's important is that your profile is reflecting your offer. You've got clearly your value proposition, your marketing message, and it calls out your audience, okay? So really it's about having alignment in all of these key stages. So with profile optimization, what we need is we need a banner showcasing your, it's like we use a soft entry to our Facebook group. So we do that, and we really have that dialed in. And then we have bio with the offer statement, okay, which is like the value proposition. And then what we want is case studies in the featured photo section, because that's going to create, like, you've got a canvas now of like your offer. You've got your bio, which calls out your value proposition, and then you've got your case studies, which create conviction on the banner. So if you're just putting out content and you're not actually putting out case studies, which are like social proof, successful clients, you know, it's not going to convert very well. And then what you want is content going out, content posted on the wall. Okay, so that's the 3 main elements, which I'll go into. So what we get is our lead VA goes in there and optimizes your profile, and they do that for you, and you just complete some modules to get that done. But we really want to close the gap on like where the missing infrastructure is. So we close the gap first with profile optimization. So you could literally do that yourself. You can take that away and you can do that. But then once we've done that, we really want our Facebook group optimized. So there's a couple key parts of that. We want our questions. So we want our 3 questions and rules. So we want that dialed in. If you want examples of the ones that work, look it out, join our Facebook group, rejoin it, like leave it and rejoin it, and you can see the questions and rules, and you can literally like model those, copy those. Then you want a welcome post, because like one reason why Facebook groups don't convert, let's go through it, which we want to solve first, is that when people join the group, there's no follow-up. Someone joined our program recently, they didn't have any follow-up for people that joined the group. So we really want like the 3 questions and rules should really qualify them. Like the first question should say like, if you're in client acquisition, what niche do you serve? What's your offer? Get some information. It's really around the problem. If you're business to consumer, it's like, what's the problem? So it qualifies them. The second question should be like a pretty much like just asking them, okay, what's your email to receive like this free training, which is going to solve your main problem. So if you can solve someone's main problem as soon as they join your group for free, the reciprocity is going to be massive. So it's going to be easier to actually convert them later on, and it would take less manual effort from you, right? Because we all know, like, when you're convinced of something, it's not really difficult to get you to take action and go further, because with conviction comes trust. Okay, and we need trust. So what happens is we actually place an outreach specialist in our clients' businesses, and what happens is that outreach specialist is going to be outreaching to 1,500 people a week. Yes, it's 1,500. Volume is key, and they're aiming for 50 to 100 group members coming in per week. That's 50 to 100 leads coming in per week. So if you don't have a traffic generating mechanism, that's really, really important to get dialed in. But just sticking to Facebook group automation, when those leads come through, they should be tagged by the outreach specialist, or a member of your team should be tagging them in a welcome post. In the welcome post, it just says like, welcome to the group, here's who it's for, and then check your DMs, okay? because we're going to send you something. So the group, the one that's managing the group reaches out into the DMs of everyone that joins and pretty much like offers them some free stuff and then asks some questions and then books people that are a good fit onto a call. So we want that welcome post to direct them there. And then we've got the about section. Okay, and that's just a bit of information similar to the welcome post. And then we've got like content, okay? So we want featured post content, and we can put like case studies in the featured section of their group. We can do a lot with that. So that's really powerful, and we leverage that. So that's for your Facebook group. And then basic automations, like we use GroupKit, we use Go High Level for this. So every lead that comes into the group, you just need to make sure that they're being uploaded to a CRM where they're being held, and their information based on their questions is being held. So GroupKit is really, really useful for that. And you should definitely go in. It's like $30 a month. We get all of our clients on GroupKit. And pretty much like it just holds all their information. So the outreach specialist uploads them to GroupKit. So one thing that's super important to understand, guys, is like, this is very difficult to do by yourself. So if you have someone else in your team that you can train to actually take care of this, you'll get at least 2 to 5 hours per day back on your calendar. So if you haven't got lead generation automated, definitely one of the first things to be automating. But basic automations is GroupKit, and then Go High Level. So it's called High Level now. So really, once they're in GroupKit, you can integrate that with Go High Level. And really what happens is, what we do is we set up an email sequence for the group leads. And that's really like what we like to set up. Email sequence connected to Go High Level. When people join the group, the outreach specialist adds them to Go High Level, and it triggers this email sequence. And the email sequence sends through the training, it sends through something more of value, and then it books them onto a call. So you've got like this automatic call booking mechanism just running in the background. So really key with all of this is like how, when we were creating this process, we were thinking like people that join that are in 5 to 50K per month in revenue, 5 to 25K maybe, they don't need more, they need better. So everyone in this group's level of business, I think everyone just needs more better, not really more things to focus on. So we focus on like how to take more off the client's plate. And I think that's everyone that watches our videos should be really thinking like, what are you doing that doesn't even need to be done, that could be delegated or automated? Because time is everything. It's not a luxury, it's essential to have your time free. So yeah, so with this, we've got our Go High Level, and on Go High Level, we've got an email sequence for members of the group. And then what we've got is we've got booking link plus email sequence, okay? So once we've got that email sequence for the group, what we do is we create a booking link with really good qualifying questions. We attach a email sequence to that booking link, and that email sequence sends out educational assets on what you do in terms of your offer. So everyone that books in is really like educated. That's really important, that people are educated. If they're not educated, you have to educate them in the call. Where else is it going to happen? They have to be educated before they buy. So let's take that out of the sales call, put it into an email sequence. Educational asset, case study to create conviction on the actual offer you're proposing, and then just a link to book the call, to actually do the call. So this is really like key for getting 98% plus show up rate on the call. Okay, so this is really what it's about. We just want to set up all of this stuff, and within the first 7 days, we want all of this stuff done when people join, because we're really like solving the issues that prevent people growing for like years. We solve that in 7 days. Okay, once this is done, and you can take this away again, you can use all of this, or you could apply to work with us on it as well, Candid Pitch. So with the next part, we're really focusing on lead generation. Let me just put this back. Okay, so we've got lead generation. Okay, so we finished the build, and pretty much what we're doing now is we're just generating leads, and those leads are going to come into the group. Okay, so they're going to be taken into the group. Leads join the group. then what's going to happen is the client or you or whoever's responsible for setting in your company literally will just take the leads and book them as calls. Okay. So in the group questions, as you know, they've already requested help, because the third question is really saying like, do you mind us reaching out and showing you what's working with our clients in line with this issue that you're coming to us to solve, why you're joining the group. So it's super simple. It's like crazy, and it's really easy to actually use, guys. And it's like, it's just great because I really love it. And I'm not someone that likes to juggle lots of projects. I don't work well with that. I like an optimized approach. And so the only thing you should be worrying about if you're below 50K per month, setting appointments, closing appointments, setting appointments, closing appointments, setting appointments, closing appointments. Okay, that's all. So really we want to focus on just two things, which is setting appointments, closing appointments. If there's a third one, it's just creating content for the profile in the group. Okay, so lead generation is what we focus on. That's like you want a conversational messaging flow. These are the elements for this. And you want a 98% show up rate standard operating procedure, which is an SOP. Okay, so what we do is we create a conversational messaging flow. Now you really need to have this in your scripts. If you're using scripts, whatever you're using to book people into appointments, you need to know how to get their inefficiencies. You need to know what those inefficiencies are in terms of how someone is going about solving their problem and how it doesn't really work that well. This comes from the value proposition. And then what happens after that is once you've unearthed an inefficiency when they join the group, the next thing is educating them on how you solve that. So they need to know that they've told you what they haven't solved. You need to know what they haven't solved. That way you can educate them on it. And then you just offer a call going through the education and how they can implement it to solve their inefficiency. So it's really simple and really gets people to have a reason to show up because they know there's something on the line. So if you need the call more than they do, they're going to own the interaction on the sales call. So really want to make sure that that person is asked to be there, they've got a reason to be there, and they're actually in the position of need, not you, because that's really where they need to be for you to be empowered, is that they need to actually be in need, not you. So the lead generation is really key for that messaging flow that books them in. Once they've booked in, the booking link and email sequence that will all fire off. 98% show up rate SOP is just one or two or three questions, which after they send out, you're also sending more educational assets and case studies through Messenger, because then they're going to have consumed 2 to 5 hours of content before even speaking to you. So really, people need to consume this content in order for them to actually be in the position where they can make a buying decision, right? If you're charging high ticket and they don't know anything about you and you've only told them in the space of 45 minutes, like you can't justify spending $5,000 to $10,000 like this, right? But if you have this stuff set up, it just becomes systemized and it's just really simple, easy, and it's the same thing day in, day out, and it's very, very simple and beautiful. So that's lead generation. I would actually move this one if I had a choice, which I do. And I'm going to put it into appointment setting. Okay, so that's the next one. And that's just the, Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to move this, and I'm just going to actually make this even better. Okay, let's see. All right, so we've got one, got that. Okay, cool. Let's do it like this. This is going to work a lot better. Okay, so what we've got is lead generation. So the elements of this, if it comes just before appointment setting, is 1,500 outreach per week. And then we're getting 50 to 100 leads per week. Okay, so this is the outreach specialist. So we leverage an outreach specialist, as I've mentioned, and we just like send them into a bunch of highly qualified groups, which we help people to actually dial in, that they're your audience, right? And they have a need for your offer. So boom, from the first point, like the earliest stage, we're getting in front of the right people. Like this is a big issue for people that work with us. It's like you're great at delivery, you're great at sales, but you're in obscurity. Like no one knows where you are and how to find you. So getting in front of the right people in volume is super important. And then boiling down that volume to 50 to 100 highly qualified applicants is so powerful. It literally moves the needle like nothing else I've noticed. So that's lead generation. So that's automated. Okay, this needs to be automated. That has to be automated. Otherwise, you have to do it. So if no one is conducting traffic in your business, guys, then anything else you're doing, I swear it's a waste of time, because your business is not growing if you're building a website, a funnel, all this other stuff. These are just assets. Like, these are like the ground. If you put seeds in the ground, if there's no water coming onto the ground, there's no life. Like, traffic is that water. So lead generation should be the very next thing after you do this basic setup. So if you're ever wondering, how do people scale so quickly? It's because they just do what's super important and nothing else. Okay, so that's it. So they're coming into the group. Once they come into the group, you set them as an appointment, boom, and the rest is like really simple. It's just sales. Okay, and really with sales, what it's about is communicating the offer, and just before that, it's establishing the need. And then the third thing is just understanding financial viability to proceed. So that's all. So like, if they have the need that you solve and you're communicating the offer like in a valuable way, the only other thing is like, do they have the money to proceed? So really, because of all this beautiful work we've done up here, and most of it is automated, this literally like almost converts itself. Okay, so pretty much what you should expect is 150 leads per week coming into the group. Of that, you can easily, like, you could understand, okay, I can easily convert 5 to 10 calls per week. Now, if you've got all this set up, like, it's unreasonable you're not going to get at least 1 to 2 sales per week. And that's pretty much all it is, guys. That's your client acquisition framework. After, like, people that, well, you might ask yourself, what happens to the rest of the leads that join? I'm getting 100 people a week and only 10 people are booking calls. Great. Host a masterclass after like 2 or 3 months, and you're going to have like at least 100 to 300 people joining because they haven't booked in, but they're getting nurtured by your content. So that's how you book those guys in. Anyway, I hope this was really valuable. This is so much simpler than anything I've ever seen before. You can easily take this away. You can find VAs and outreach specialists on Upwork. Now, it takes a lot. I've hired and fired over 20 to 30 VAs in the last 12 months. It is difficult to find the right person, but look, you can still do it. In terms of appointment setting, we have access to all of this. So if you want it from us, you can. Otherwise, you can figure it out on yourself based on this structure. Conversational messaging flow is just pay attention to what the issues are that people have and understand what your value proposition is so you can communicate the education, and then just create some valuable assets. Okay, so sales is just like very simple. It's just having that conversation and getting answers to these 3 points. So I really wanted to go through this with you guys. Like, we had a couple clients recently that joined. We have 50 to 80% success from clients from within the first 30 days of joining. So one client joined about a month or 2 ago, and they hadn't ever generated sales before. They've generated now 5K sales, and they're getting great success. There's another client that is also generating 5K sales that had a massive lead issue. There's someone else that joined who had created, they were a affiliate marketer, and they had created a couple clients for an affiliate program, and I showed them how to set up a coaching program, and now they've generated qualified calls, and they said yesterday that this is the best mastermind they've ever joined. But it's really not even just about the mastermind, it's about doing this build and release. Like, you don't have to join our mastermind, but definitely, like, you already knew that, but definitely you need to have stuff like this set up for sure. So whether it's with us or someone else, make sure it's set up. Anyway, I hope everyone's getting a lot of value from this group. I hope everyone's loving it here as much as I am, and wishing everyone a beautiful day. If you want this, let me know and I'll drop it in. Let me know and I'll drop it in the comments section, and you can use that for free. And you can just have that. Okay. So the key to client acquisition is massive value, everybody. So hopefully this was valuable, and yeah, reach out if you need help. Peace.